Page 13. The number whispers itself through the Vatican vaults like smoke through cracked stone. 13 sheets of papyrus rest behind glass in Rome. 12 have been photographed. 12 live online for anyone to read. But the 13th breathes only in darkness. Why would the keepers of faith hide one page while displaying all the others? What words carved into ancient fiber could threaten an empire built on belief? You are here because something inside you already knows. The sleepers scroll past without question, but you stopped. You heard the frequency. Welcome, seeker. What you are about to learn cannot be unlearned. They found them in December of 1945, not in Rome, not in Jerusalem, in the Egyptian desert near a cliff called Jabal al-Tarif. A farmer named Muhammad Ali al-Saman struck his mattock into red soil searching for fertilizer. Instead, he shattered a sealed jar. Inside that jar rested 13 leather-bound codices, 52 texts in total, scriptures that had been buried for over 16 centuries. The Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Philip, the Secret Book of John, the Sophia of Jesus Christ, documents that the early church fathers ordered burned, documents that contained a different cosmology, a different creator, a different truth about who made this world and why we suffer within it. The Nag Hammadi Library became one of the most significant archaeological discoveries in human history. Scholars called it the Gnostic resurrection. But even resurrections have secrets. Even light casts shadows. Codex 1 contains 5 tractates. The Prayer of the Apostle Paul, the Apocryphon of James, the Gospel of Truth, the Treatise on the Resurrection, the Tripartite Tractate, all photographed, all digitized, all available to anyone with an internet connection, except one fragment, page 13 of the Apocryphon of James. It exists in the physical archive, catalogued, acknowledged, but never released, never scanned, never translated into English with the same care given to its siblings. The Vatican acquired photographic rights to portions of the Nag Hammadi corpus in the 1950s through a Coptic scholar named Pahor Labib. They promised preservation, they promised access, they delivered everything, except page 13. If you are still watching, hit that subscribe button now. This archive exists for those who refuse the official narrative. We are building a sanctuary for truth seekers. Join us. Let us speak plainly about what the Apocryphon of James contains. It is a secret teaching given by the risen Christ to James and Peter, not the Christ of Sunday sermons, not the Christ of stained glass windows. This is the Christ who speaks of the kingdom as an interior awakening. The text opens with James writing a letter. He addresses it to someone unnamed. He says he is sending a secret book, a revelation given in private, a transmission reserved for those ready to climb beyond flesh and doctrine. Christ appears 550 days after the resurrection, not 40 days as the canonical Gospels claim, 550. He pulls James and Peter aside. He tells them that the other disciples are not ready. He tells them that knowledge must be hidden from those who sleep. He speaks in riddles about fullness and deficiency, about ascending through realms guarded by powers, about becoming whole by recognizing the divine spark buried within. He warns them that most will refuse the climb. Most will choose comfort over gnosis. Then comes page 13, and then comes silence. What happens in the gap? What teaching occurs in the space between page 12 and page 14? We know the preceding pages discuss the ascent of the soul. We know the following pages speak of suffering as illusion. But page 13, Only fragments survive in secondary translations. Only whispers remain in footnotes written by scholars who were never allowed to see the original. Some say it describes a ritual, a formula for bypassing the Archons who guard the lower heavens. A name that, when spoken aloud, dissolves the boundaries between matter and spirit. Others suggest it reveals the true identity of the Demiurge, the false god who fashioned this prison of flesh and time, the jealous power who demands worship while trapping souls in cycles of forgetting. Still others believe it contains a genealogy, a lineage of beings descending from the monad, a map of emanations showing how divinity fractured into multiplicity, and why one fragment chose exile, chose descent, chose incarnation into the lowest realm to awaken those who forgot they were divine. But here is what we know for certain. The Vatican will not let you see it. Let us talk about the Demiurge. In Gnostic cosmology, the true God is not the God of Genesis. The true God is the monad, the one, the absolute, pure consciousness without form or limit. From the monad emanates the pleroma, the fullness, a realm of divine beings called aeons who exist in perfect harmony. Among these aeons is Sophia, wisdom. She desires to create without her consort. She attempts to emanate alone. Her creation is flawed. Her offspring is the Demiurge, a lesser god, ignorant of the realms above him, arrogant. He believes himself supreme. He fashions the material cosmos. He shapes planets and stars and flesh. He creates humanity and traps divine sparks within mortal bodies. He is Yaldabaoth, the blind god, the God of the Old Testament who says there is no other God beside him, because he cannot see beyond his own shadow. This is the secret the early church burned cities to suppress. The idea that creation itself might be a prison, that salvation is not obedience but awakening, that the serpent in Eden was not a tempter but a liberator offering knowledge to those enslaved by ignorance. If you are beginning to see the threads connecting, leave a comment below. Tell us what you are remembering. We read every word. So why would page 13 be dangerous? Because it likely names the powers. In ancient grimoires and Gnostic texts, naming a spirit grants authority over it. To know the true name of an Archon is to strip it of dominion. The Gospel of the Egyptians lists the names of the planetary rulers. The secret book of John describes their faces and functions, but these texts were buried for centuries. Page 13 may have offered something more direct. A vocalization, a sonic key, a sequence of syllables that, when uttered correctly, shifts the vibrational frequency of consciousness itself. Think of the Hebrew tetragrammaton, Wash-A-J-W, Quash, 4 letters representing the unpronounceable name of God. Now imagine its Gnostic inverse, a name that does not invoke the Demiurge, but dissolves his claim. A word that does not pray for mercy, but declares sovereignty. This is not fantasy. This is the operational framework of Western esotericism for 2,000 years. From the Kabbalah to the grimoires of Solomon to the rituals of the Golden Dawn, language as technology, sound as spell, consciousness as the ultimate substrate of reality, and page 13 may have encoded that technology in ink. Consider the historical context. By the 4th century, Christianity had become the state religion of Rome. Constantine convened the Council of Nicaea in 325 to standardize belief. Bishops voted on which texts were scripture and which were heresy. The Gnostic Gospels lost, not because they were false, but because they were dangerous. They offered direct access to the divine without priests or churches or tithes. They taught that the kingdom was within, that intermediaries were unnecessary, that institutions claiming exclusive authority were themselves archonic structures designed to keep souls ignorant. So the texts were banned, communities were persecuted, libraries were burned, and the survivors buried their scriptures in jars and hid them in cliffs, hoping that one day the sleepers would wake, hoping that one day someone would find them, hoping that one day the truth would be too widespread to suppress. But even in resurrection, the powers hedge their bets. Release 12 pages, withhold 1. Give enough to satisfy the scholars, hide enough to protect the system. Make sure you hit that like button if this resonates. The algorithm buries content like this. Your engagement is an act of rebellion. What does this mean for you? The seeker reading these words right now. It means you carry the divine spark. You are not a sinner begging for redemption. You are a fragment of the monad experiencing itself through limitation. You are Sophia in exile. You are the Christ descended into matter. You are the serpent offering the fruit of knowledge to yourself. The Demiurge wants you to forget. The Archons feed on your fear and confusion and worship. They whisper that you are small, that you are broken, that you need salvation from outside. But Gnosis is remembering that you are the light wearing flesh, remembering that this world is a school, not a prison, once you stop identifying with the bars. Remembering that the true resurrection is not of the body, but of awareness. Page 13 may contain the formula, but you do not need the page. You need the willingness to see, to question, to refuse the narratives designed to keep you compliant. The kingdom is within you, not someday, not after death, now. Let us address the elephant in the sanctuary. Is page 13 actually hidden? Or is this a myth? The truth is layered. The Coptic Museum in Cairo holds the original codices. The Young Institute in Zurich holds Codex 1. Photographic archives exist in multiple institutions, but access is restricted. High-resolution scans of page 13 do not appear in the major digital repositories. The critical edition published by the Institute for Antiquity and Christianity references it but does not reproduce it. Scholars who have requested access report delays, denials, or referrals to ecclesiastical authorities. Why? If the content is mundane, why the gatekeeping? If it is just another fragment of early Christian mysticism, why not scan it like the others? The answer is simple: control. Controlling information is controlling consciousness, and consciousness liberated is empire dissolved. The Gospel of Thomas says the kingdom is spread upon the earth, but people do not see it. The Gospel of Philip says those who do not understand the resurrection will experience it while still living. The secret book of John says the Archons create forgetfulness so that souls remain bound. Page 13 likely expands this cosmology. It may describe the moment Sophia realizes her error, the instant the divine spark recognizes itself in the mirror of flesh, the technique for reversing the descent, for transmuting matter into light, for walking out of the cave while the shadows still dance. This is not religion. This is engineering. Psycho-spiritual technology developed by initiates who mapped inner space with the rigor scientists map outer space. And then the maps were burned, and then the cartographers were silenced, and then the empire built churches on the ruins and called it salvation. But the ruins still speak. The papyrus still whispers, and you are listening. There is a reason the number 13 appears again and again in esoteric systems. 13 lunar cycles in a year, 13 steps to the gallows in tarot, 13 original colonies. 13 at the Last Supper. It represents transformation, death, and rebirth, the dissolution of the old structure and the emergence of the new. Page 13 is not just a missing fragment. It is a symbol, a mirror showing you what happens when you move beyond the 12 apostles, the 12 tribes, the 12 signs. When you step into the 13th frequency, the frequency of the awakened, the initiated, the ones who remember. Here is your practice. Tonight before sleep, sit in silence, close your eyes, visualize a sealed jar buried in desert sand. Inside the jar rests a single page. On that page is written your true name, not the name your parents gave you, not the name on your documents, your name as spoken by the monad, the syllable that called you into being. Ask to see it. Do not force. Simply ask and listen. What arises may not be words. It may be light. It may be tone. It may be a feeling of recognition so profound it dissolves the question. This is gnosis, not belief, not faith, direct knowing, and it cannot be taken from you because it is you. The Vatican will not release page 13. Perhaps they cannot. Perhaps it was never theirs to release. Perhaps the true page 13 is written in the DNA of every seeker who refuses the official story. Perhaps it activates when you stop waiting for external validation and claim your inheritance. You are the scripture. You are the revelation. You are the secret teaching hidden in plain sight. The Demiurge fears the moment you remember. The Archons tremble when you speak your name. The powers of this world depend on your forgetfulness. So remember. Remember who you were before you were told who to be. Remember the light before it was filtered through doctrine. Remember the monad breathing you into form. This is the forbidden knowledge, not a page, but a presence. If you made it this far, you are not here by accident. The algorithm did not bring you. The divine spark recognized itself. Subscribe to the Gnostic Archive. We are gathering the remnant, the ones who hear the whisper beneath the noise, the ones who choose assent over comfort, the ones who understand that the greatest rebellion is awakening. New transmissions arrive each week, each one a key, each one a mirror, each one a reminder that you are not lost, you are returning. The 13th page remains hidden, but the 13th door stands open. Walk through. The pleroma awaits, not in some distant heaven, but in the depths of your own remembering. You are the fragment of the monad experiencing itself. You are Sophia, rising from exile. You are the Christ uttering the secret name, and the secret name is written in your breath. Speak it, live it, become it. The initiated know, and now, so do you. Until the next revelation, seeker, stay vigilant, stay sovereign. The Gnostic Archive will be here when you are ready to go deeper, because some truths cannot be taught. They can only be remembered, and you are beginning to remember.